So you're wondering, can I purchase a home with the home I currently have? And I have the answer for you. Yes, you can. And there's two ways that you can be able to do that. Let's talk about it. So, one of the first ways that you can be able to purchase another home with your current home is by doing what is called refinance, a cash out refinance. When you do a cash out refinance, that means that the current home that you own has equity in it. Now, you may be wondering, well, what is equity, right? Well, equity is when you have the home value, the market value of your current home minus your home balance. So once you know what that number is, it'll let you know how much equity you have in your home. So when you decide to do a cash out refinance, it will allow for you to be able to tap into that available equity in your home in order to extract the cash, and you can use those funds to go and purchase your second home. Now, please understand, usually with a cash out refinance, there are some pros and cons. So I will talk about that in a little bit here, just an overview, but there is a video on how you can be able to assess, is a cash out refinance the best thing for you right now? Video located here or here, somewhere here, but at least in the description. So you can be able to use that money from your cash out refinance in order to purchase your home, your second home. The second way that you can be able to purchase a home with your current home is by selling it. So, if a lender knows that you are in the process of selling your home or you have sold it, then you can be able to use those proceeds as a down payment or closing costs towards your home, your new home. And oftentimes, when lenders they know that you're selling your home, then they will be more lenient in terms of your debt to income ratio and not take that into account because they know you are selling your first home. And that brings me to my main point. Can you buy a home with your current home? You have to make a decision on, first of all, why are you doing it? Because there's only really two ways that is going to allow for you to buy a home with your home. You either going to sell it or refinance in order to rent it out. So let's talk about those two options in terms of what are you going to do with the first home, because you're now moving into your second home. So in your mind, you already know, I want to purchase another house, but I'm currently living in one, right? So you got to think, what is it that I want to do with my first home? And what do I want to do with the new home I'm looking to move into? So, as I said, there's only two options in terms of what you can do with your first home. You can either rent it out or sell it. So let's talk about those options. If you were to rent out your first home, you can be able to hire a property management company that can take care of everything for you and you receive a check every month, or you can manage that property yourself when renting. So the good thing about it is you could be able to receive cash flow. You can be able to receive cash flow every month in order to take care of your property and have a little cash left over so that you can put that towards your new home. And that can also, in terms of your debt to income ratio, by you renting out that first home, it allows for that mortgage payment to be taken down in terms of your debt to income ratio. So let's say your current mortgage may be $2,000 and you decide, I'm going to rent it out for $2,500. So in the mortgage industry, we use 75% occupancy. Um, I did not make this law up. This is what the general rule is whenever you're taking into account rentals. So if they're paying you 2,500 and we use 75% of that, that's $1,875 minus the $2,000 for your mortgage. So only $125 per month will be taken into account towards your debt if you were to keep your home and rent it out. So it will still show some sort of payment that's coming out against your income, but it wouldn't be the full $2,000 mortgage payment that you may currently have. Now, your second option that you could be able to do is sell your home. But let's say you don't want to take the time to sell your home first. You need the cash now, and you still want to be able to have that home on the market, right? So as I said before, a lender, if they know you are selling your home, then they would take that into account when they are doing the underwriting of your loan, which means they're reviewing your documents, they're reviewing your loan application, they're reviewing the program, they're reviewing everything to see whether you qualify for that program. Do you have the funds in order to close? All of the necessary things in order to go through that loan process, right? So, option that you can be able to do, you can be able to refinance, and depending on the program that you're going into, if you decide not to sell, right? So let me go back to that. I apologize. Let's go back. So if you decide not to sell and you're going to rent it out, you can still be able to refinance before you rent it out, or you can rent it out and then refinance. But in terms of selling, if you want to be able to go ahead and have access to those funds because you just don't know how long the home is going to take to sell, well, you could do a refinance. Okay. But heed my warning. If you do a refinance and then turn around and sell your house, then you can go into default and they can say, hey, we want our money because you lied on the application and said that you're going to stay in this home. And there's certain programs that you cannot qualify for if you know your intention is not to be in that home. So do not refinance, depending on the program, but do not refinance if you do plan on selling within a month or two, because some programs, residential, do not allow, you have to wait at least a year. So like FHA, VA, right? They when you sign those papers and saying this is my primary and I'm refinancing, in those papers, it's basically you're checking boxes and saying, I'm staying in this house for at least a year, right? So that's because the industry want to make sure that home buyers are being protected, and that scammers are not coming in acquiring these properties and then just to make a quick buck and selling it. And so in order to make sure you're not committing mortgage fraud, you want to ensure that you let your mortgage professional know, hey, this is my plan on what I'm looking to do. And they can be able to assist you. So that refinance can be you refinancing out of a VA into a conventional, so you can use your VA for your next house. It can be going from a FHA to a DSCR, which is a debt service coverage ratio, which is basically you're going from primary to a rental, right? That's what you're saying you're doing. Or you could be able to go from a first to a second, right? So this is my primary home. Now it's my second home. And you could be able to refinance. So you can still be able to refinance. And so certain way that you want to do it, but definitely let your mortgage professional know whether or not you're looking to sell that property. So let's talk about you selling your property. As I said, a mortgage, lenders will allow for, if they know that you're selling your property and they know that you're going to use those proceeds to close, then they will work with you in the process, to make sure that everything flows with each other. But my personal opinion, okay, professional opinion, my personal opinion is, I will say simultaneously be looking for the house as you are getting the house fixed up, the first home fixed up. Because if you already have it on the market and you got people that's interested and you showing the coming soon, right? I always love when they did the coming soons. Why? Because what it does is get potential buyers interested. So when it does come to market, it'll already be in position to sell even quicker. So you have to decide, what am I going to do with my first home? Those are the two things you can do with your first home. If you are deciding to keep your first home and do the refinance option, then you have then that second mortgage, it now becomes, okay, this is my new primary of where I'm moving to. Do not do a refinance as a primary and then turn around and say, nope, I'm moving a month later here as this is my primary. That is mortgage fraud. So what you want to do is you can either refinance and pull cash out. It's fine if it's your second, if you consider it now your second property. And then usually with that, there's different loan to values that you can be able to get up to. So for instance, with cash out for VA, it's up to 90%, FHA is 80%, and also with conventional is 80%. Some commercial programs, if you are going DSCR or going commercial, then they may go up to 70, anywhere from 65 to 80%. And that can be depending on your credit score, the ratio, things like that are factored in. And if you want more information about DSCR program and what that looks like, just put just put below DSCR and I will create a video based around that particular mortgage program. Now, if that second home that you're purchasing is just a vacation home, then yes, by all means, you can do a cash out. It can still be your primary and you can go purchase your, vacation home or your second home. If you're making that second home your new primary, then as I said, just be careful in terms of how you're going to refinance with talking to your mortgage professional to make sure you're not committing mortgage fraud. So yes, you can buy a home and already have a home. If you're VA and you want to utilize your VA, then refinance into a conventional. And then that will allow for you to free up your VA to be able to be used whenever you purchase your next home. If you're FHA, you can refinance into a conventional. It could be still second home, right? So lower LTVs, sometimes it depends on the lender and their programs, but essentially a resounding yes, you can buy a home with a home. Now, if you want to be able to learn about more of the different mortgage programs and which one is best for you, then you could be able to click on this video. Click on the video above or in the description so that you can know what's the best loan program for you. And as always, I am here, reach out. As a mortgage broker and professional, I'm here to help you out and to be able to find the best program for you in order to accelerate debt, build wealth, and retire rich. All right, beautiful boss. Bye.